Hi, my name is Jordan Humphreys, and I am interviewing Mary Stanley for my international business class with Dr. Henry Maddox as the teacher. Mary Stanley is the co-owner and operator with her husband of Bare Feet Shoes and the Turtle Restaurant here in Brownwood, Texas. We have 5 quick questions to go over with Mary. The first question would be, explain how your business has been involved internationally, for example, importing or exporting.
Well, in Bare Feet Shoes, we have purchased a lot of equipment from Europe, and also leather, and also from Brazil. So we've bought equipment from Germany, Italy, and Brazil. And then in the restaurant business, we've imported equipment from Turkey and also from Italy.
Okay. The second question is, explain how dealing with diversity, varying cultures in your workforce has influenced your managerial decisions.
Well, over at Bare Feet especially, a lot of my employees are Mexican heritage, and family is very important to them, and they tend to have quite extended families. And one thing I have made allowances for that many local business may not is it's very important to them they take care of their young and their elderly, and this means that frequently they're not at work to do this. And I accommodate them, and in exchange for doing that, I think I get a lot of loyalty, and also I probably don't have to pay them quite as much as I would otherwise.
Okay. The third question that we have is, explain any problems or interesting situations you have come across working internationally, whether here on U.S. soil or internationally.
Well, I think a funny story I could tell is we had a Japanese client we export from time to time to Japan, our shoes, and I read up on business etiquette, social etiquette, and it was my understanding that with Japanese it's very rare to have a left-handed person, and it's considered somewhat not insulting exactly, but uncomfortable to use your left hand with a Japanese person. So I had to go out on a dinner date with one of my buyers, and he had a Japanese translator with him, a woman who had lived in America for quite some time. And he took me to one of New York City's finest Japanese restaurants, Nobu. And I am not real good at eating with chopsticks, although I do alright as long as I can use my left hand. But I ate that entire meal right-handed, and it was so difficult for me that I felt like my brain hurt, and I had a hard time concentrating on what was being said throughout the meal because it required so much concentration for me to control my chopsticks with my right hand because I'm very left-handed. And my host complimented me on my chopstick skills. And we got all finished with the meal, and the translator said to me at the end of the meal that she probably would not move back to Japan because her children were born here. And they were so out of touch with Japanese culture in language and other things that it would be almost impossible for them to be competitive in the upper schools and university system in Japan. And then she said that her children were left-handed. So I ate that whole meal under like enormous stress, right-handed, when it really wasn't necessary for me to have done that. I think it was a good thing that I did that, but it was also interesting to hear her comment about how she couldn't go back to Japan because her children wouldn't fit in that culture anymore.
That's a great example of, in class we've talked about accommodating to a culture and not looking somewhat like an idiot whenever you're in a different culture because you don't know that culture. And in this case, Mary knew the culture and she knew what was accepted, and she went with that culture norm that they've established, but yet she found out that it wasn't exactly the norm in America.
But I also feel like it created a positive situation between me and my client The other thing that was really obvious to me that evening was my client actually did understand everything that was being said. It was just he was